The morning air crackled with tension as Detective Park Ji-woo stepped into the bustling transit station. Neon holographic displays flickered overhead, casting blue-green shadows across the metallic floor. Outside, sleek hover vehicles darted between towering skyscrapers that seemed to touch the clouded sky. Kang Hyun had been working late at his university's quantum engineering lab, his fingers dancing across holographic interfaces as he completed a complex project. The 19-year-old student was known for his brilliant mind and quiet demeanor, always more comfortable with advanced technological puzzles than social interactions. The accident happened in a split second. A massive hover transit, carrying 127 passengers, suddenly lost control, spinning wildly before crashing into the central transportation hub. Debris scattered like metal confetti, emergency sirens screaming across the city's soundscape. 17 people died instantly. Dozens more were critically injured. Detective Park arrived at the scene, his cybernetic-enhanced vision scanning the wreckage. Something about the young student caught his attention. Kang Hyun stood nearby, his hands trembling slightly, eyes wide with shock. The detective's intuition, honed by years of investigation, saw something suspicious. "You," Ji-woo called out, his voice cutting through the chaos. "Come with me." Hyun looked confused. Around them, rescue drones buzzed like mechanical insects, extracting injured passengers and scanning for survivors. Holographic emergency protocols flickered in multiple languages, creating a chaotic symphony of information and warning signals. The interrogation room felt cold and sterile. Advanced surveillance systems recorded every microscopic movement. Hyun sat silently, his engineering tablet confiscated, his entire world suddenly shrinking to this small white room. "Where were you between 22:40 and 23:15? Detective Park's voice was sharp, calculating. Hyun explained he was at the university lab, working on a quantum stabilization project. But his nervous demeanor worked against him. Each word seemed carefully measured, each explanation feeling rehearsed. Little did Hyun know, Detective Park had already made up his mind. The young student's foreign-sounding name, his slightly accented speech, his unusual research background, everything seemed suspicious. The evidence was circumstantial at best. A fragment of advanced quantum circuitry found near the crash site matched designs similar to Hyun's research. Security cameras showed him near the transit station hours before the accident. His recent academic paper discussed quantum transportation systems, a detail that seemed increasingly problematic. What Park didn't know was the deeper truth. A corporate conspiracy was brewing, hidden beneath layers of technological complexity. The hover transit's quantum stabilization system had a critical manufacturing defect, a secret that powerful corporations would kill to protect. Hyun's research wasn't just academic. He had unknowingly discovered vulnerabilities in transportation technologies that could expose massive industrial misconduct. His quiet brilliance made him dangerous, though he didn't realize it yet. Within hours, media channels blazed with sensational headlines. University student arrested in deadly transit disaster. Holographic news displays painted Hyun as a potential terrorist, a threat to public safety. The arrest was swift, brutal, and calculated. Advanced robotic law enforcement units surrounded Hyun's small apartment, their metallic frames reflecting the city's neon lights. His personal quantum research, his entire digital footprint, was confiscated and encrypted. No one noticed the subtle manipulations happening behind the scenes. Corporate algorithms were already working, burying potential evidence, redirecting investigations. Hyun was becoming the perfect scapegoat. In the city's underbelly, advanced AI systems processed millions of data points, constructing narratives that would protect powerful interests. Quantum-encrypted communications moved faster than human comprehension, erasing tracks and creating false narratives. Hyun's world collapsed in moments. His dreams of technological innovation, his promising academic career, everything vanished like digital smoke. Detective Park felt satisfied, believing he had solved a complex case quickly. But fate had other plans. Unknown to Park, Hyun had a sister, a judicial magistrate with connections and intelligence that would soon turn everything upside down. The stage was set for a journey of justice, technological revelation, and unexpected redemption. End of part. The judicial complex stood like a gleaming fortress of glass and advanced polymers, reflecting the city's dynamic skyline. Kang Yunji sat in her private office, her holographic interface displaying multiple case files simultaneously. Her sleek, quantum-linked communication device buzzed with an urgent message from her family. Her brother's arrest hit her like a quantum shockwave. Yunji wasn't just any judicial magistrate. She was known for her razor-sharp analytical skills and an almost supernatural ability to deconstruct complex legal puzzles. Her reputation in the interstellar judicial circuit was legendary, feared by corrupt officials and respected by honest professionals. The moment she received the initial report, something felt wrong. Decades of legal experience had trained her to sense inconsistencies, and this case was screaming with them. Hyun was brilliant, too brilliant to make such a fundamental mistake. She activated her advanced neural link communication system, connecting with her underground network of investigative contacts. Holographic data streams began flowing around, her creating a three-dimensional map of information. Old police records, transportation logs, quantum engineering research. Everything began to interconnect. Outside her window, hover vehicles moved like metallic rivers between skyscrapers. Automated delivery drones zipped between buildings, carrying packages and creating a constant urban ballet. But Yunji's focus remained laser-sharp on her brother's case. Her first move was strategic. She contacted her most trusted technological forensic expert, a former military intelligence analyst named Kang Woo-jin. His specialized quantum decryption skills were legendary in certain circles. "I need a complete breakdown of the transit accident," she said, her voice calm, but carrying an underlying intensity. Woo-jin understood immediately. Within hours, he began sending encrypted data packages, each containing microscopic details about the crash. Advanced AI algorithms worked alongside human intelligence, slowly peeling back layers of complexity. What emerged was fascinating. The Hover Transit's quantum stabilization system showed multiple anomalies, microfractures in critical components, algorithmic inconsistencies that suggested deliberate manipulation. Someone had engineered this disaster. Yunji's investigation wasn't just about proving her brother's innocence. It was becoming a complex technological thriller that could expose massive corporate misconduct. Her contacts in various governmental and private security networks began providing additional context. The transportation company responsible for the Hover Transit had a history of cutting technological corners. Their quantum engineering department was known for aggressive cost reduction strategies. Each piece of information was like a puzzle piece. Slowly, methodically, Yunji began constructing a narrative that was vastly different from the official report. She discovered subtle digital fingerprints, quantum-level evidence that suggested the accident was more than a simple mechanical failure. Someone had deliberately created conditions for catastrophic system collapse. Her brother Hyun wasn't just a potential suspect. He was potentially the only person who could expose this complex technological conspiracy. The judicial complex became her war room. Advanced holographic displays surrounded her, creating a three-dimensional investigation landscape. Every data point, every microscopic technological detail was examined, cross-referenced, analyzed. Woo-jin's team began running advanced simulation models. What if the crash wasn't an accident? What if it was a carefully orchestrated event designed to hide something much larger? As hours turned into days, Yunji realized they were dealing with something far more dangerous than a simple transportation accident. This was about control, about protecting powerful technological and corporate interests. Her neural link communication device pinged. A critical piece of information had just been decrypted, something that would change everything. The hunt for truth had only just begun, and Kang Yunji was determined to uncover every single secret, no matter the cost. End of Part 2. The underground quantum research facility hummed with an eerie mechanical energy. Advanced holographic displays flickered, casting blue-green shadows across gleaming metallic surfaces. Kang Woojin's fingers danced across quantum-encrypted interfaces, revealing layers of hidden technological secrets. "Got something," he muttered, his eyes reflecting complex data streams. The hover transit's quantum stabilization system was no ordinary technological failure. Each microscopic analysis revealed deliberate, calculated manipulation. Embedded within the system's core programming were sophisticated algorithmic anomalies that suggested something far more sinister than a simple mechanical breakdown. Quantum circuits told a story of calculated destruction. Microscopic nanofractures had been strategically placed, creating a perfect cascade of system failures. This wasn't an accident, it was a meticulously engineered technological assassination. Yunji watched the data unfold, her mind processing information faster than most advanced AI systems. The transportation company, Global Quantum Transit Corporation, had a dark secret. Their quantum engineering department had been cutting corners, prioritizing profit over passenger safety. Advanced robotic diagnostic units worked alongside human researchers, peeling back layers of technological complexity. Each revelation was like solving an intricate puzzle where every piece carried potential catastrophic implications. Wu Jin discovered something extraordinary. The quantum stabilization system contained hidden programming signatures, digital fingerprints that didn't match standard manufacturing protocols. Someone had deliberately introduced vulnerabilities that would trigger under specific atmospheric and gravitational conditions. This was planned, Wu Jin explained, rotating a three-dimensional holographic representation of the quantum circuit. Someone wanted this specific hover transit to fail at this exact moment. The research facility felt like a technological war room. Outside, the city continued its endless dance of hover vehicles and automated systems, completely unaware of the massive conspiracy being uncovered. Hyun's original research became critically important. His quantum engineering thesis contained theoretical models that perfectly explained the systematic failures. He had unknowingly created the very technological framework that would expose the corporate conspiracy. Global Quantum Transit Corporation had been running illegal quantum circuit modifications, reducing manufacturing costs by using experimental and untested technological components. Their goal was simple: maximize profits while minimizing production expenses. The hover transit accident wasn't just a tragedy. It was a calculated corporate strategy designed to eliminate potential technological whistleblowers. Yunji's neural-linked communication system began receiving encrypted data packages from her extensive network. Each transmission revealed another layer of the complex technological conspiracy. Government regulators, corporate executives, technological engineers, all were interconnected in a web of systematic corruption. Wu Jin's advanced AI algorithms began mapping the entire technological ecosystem. Complex relationship diagrams emerged, showing how different corporate entities were manipulating technological standards for financial gain. "We're not just talking about one accident," Wu Jin said, his voice carrying a mix of professional excitement and moral outrage. "This could expose a systematic technological corruption network that spans multiple transportation sectors." The quantum research facility became a beacon of technological truth-seeking. Every advanced system, every diagnostic tool was working to uncover the hidden narrative behind the hover transit disaster. Hyun's quantum engineering research, once considered theoretical and speculative, now stood as critical evidence. His mathematical models perfectly predicted the exact quantum circuit failures discovered in the hover transit system. As daylight faded and the city's neon lights began illuminating the urban landscape, Yunji realized they were standing at the precipice of a massive technological revelation. This was more than a legal case. This was about exposing a fundamental corruption in technological innovation. The hunt for truth had transformed from a personal mission to save her brother into a broader fight for technological integrity and public safety. Something big was coming, and nothing would stop them from revealing the truth. End of Part 3. The judicial hearing chamber pulsed with an electric tension. Advanced holographic projectors displayed complex quantum engineering schematics, transforming the space into a three-dimensional technological battlefield. Kang Eunji stood at the center, her presence commanding absolute attention. Detective Park Ji-woo sat uncomfortably, realizing his entire career was about to unravel. The once confident investigator now looked like a small piece in a much larger, more complex machinery of corporate manipulation. "We're not just discussing a simple transportation accident," Eunji announced, her voice cutting through the chamber like a precision laser. "This is a systematic failure of technological oversight and human accountability." Her presentation began with the quantum circuit evidence. Holographic displays reconstructed the hover transit's final moments, showing each microscopic failure point with surgical precision. Advanced AI algorithms translated complex technical data into visual narratives that even non-technical observers could understand. The Global Quantum Transit Corporation's executives shifted uncomfortably. Their expensive quantum-linked communication devices suddenly felt like anchors of impending doom. Corporate lawyers whispered frantically, trying to construct defensive strategies. Woo Jin's technological team had prepared meticulously. Each piece of evidence was cross-referenced, verified, and presented with mathematical certainty. They had transformed a potential cover-up into an irrefutable technological exposé. The quantum stabilization system was deliberately compromised, Eunji continued. Not through a single failure, but through a calculated series of microscopic interventions designed to create a catastrophic system collapse. Holographic timelines began showing the complex network of corporate decisions, how cost-cutting measures, technological shortcuts, and deliberate risk assessments had transformed a transportation system into a potential weapon of mass destruction. Detective Park realized he was more a pawn than an investigator. The rushed arrest of Hyun wasn't just a mistake. It was part of a larger strategy to suppress potential technological whistleblowers. Government regulators watched in stunned silence. Their own oversight mechanisms had been systematically compromised by corporate technological manipulation. Each revelation exposed deeper layers of institutional failure. Hyun, previously sitting quietly, began presenting his own quantum engineering research. His academic work, once considered theoretical, now stood as critical evidence. Mathematical models predicted exactly how the hover transit's quantum circuits would fail under specific manipulated conditions. The hearing transformed from a simple legal proceeding into a landmark technological tribunal. Every advanced communication system in the chamber was broadcasting the revelations, creating a real-time global technological awakening. "This isn't just about one accident," Eunji declared. "This is about the fundamental integrity of our technological infrastructure." Corporate representatives tried mounting defenses. Advanced legal AI systems generated counter-arguments in real time. But the evidence was overwhelming. Mathematical precision left no room for corporate manipulation. Woo Jin's team had prepared something extraordinary. They had reconstructed the entire technological conspiracy using quantum-level forensic analysis. Each corporate decision, each technological modification was mapped with scientific certainty. The hover transit disaster wasn't an accident. It was a calculated corporate strategy designed to maximize profits while minimizing technological accountability. As the hearing progressed, the global technological community watched. Live quantum broadcasts transmitted the revelations across multiple planetary communication networks. What had started as a local investigation was becoming a systemic global confrontation. Detective Park was called to testify. His previous investigation was methodically dismantled, revealing racial profiling, rushed judgments, and systematic institutional failures. Hyun's arrest became a symbol of broader technological injustice. A young researcher, targeted for daring to understand complex quantum engineering systems, was now at the center of a global technological revolution. The judicial chamber felt like a crucible of technological transformation. Old systems of corporate accountability were being fundamentally challenged. As the hearing concluded, it was clear nothing would remain the same. The technological world was about to undergo a massive, irreversible transformation. End of Part 4. 6 months after the landmark judicial hearing, the world of technological innovation had transformed dramatically. Kang Hyun stood in his newly established research center, surrounded by advanced quantum engineering prototypes that promised to revolutionize transportation safety. The legal settlement had provided more than just financial compensation. It had become a catalyst for systemic change. Hyun's quantum safety technologies were now being implemented across global transportation networks, creating a new standard of technological accountability. Holographic displays tracked real-time safety improvements. Each quantum circuit now contained multiple redundancy systems, making catastrophic failures virtually impossible. What had once been a personal tragedy had become a global technological breakthrough. Detective Park Ji-woo, once the primary antagonist, now worked as a technological compliance officer. His transformation was complete, from a narrow-minded investigator to a passionate advocate for technological justice. The very system he once blindly followed, he now critically examined. Every system can be improved, Park would tell young investigators during training sessions. Technology is only as good as our commitment to human safety. The Global Quantum Transit Corporation had been dismantled. Its leadership faced extensive legal consequences, with quantum-level forensic evidence ensuring there would be no escape. From accountability, new regulations emerged, requiring unprecedented levels of technological transparency. Yoon-ji had become a leading voice in technological ethics. Her judicial approach had transformed institutional oversight, creating a new framework for examining technological innovations. International regulatory bodies now used her investigation as a model for systemic change. Hyun's research center became more than a technological facility. It was a beacon of hope, proving that individual brilliance could challenge and ultimately transform massive corporate systems. Advanced quantum safety modules developed by Hyun's team began protecting transportation systems across multiple planetary networks. HFY vehicles now contained multiple layers of safety technologies that could predict and prevent potential failures before they occurred. The technological world watched in amazement. What had started as a personal story of injustice had become a global movement for technological accountability. Woo Jin continued supporting the research, his forensic skills now dedicated to preventing future technological disasters. His team developed advanced AI systems that could instantly detect potential safety vulnerabilities in complex quantum circuits. International technological conferences began featuring Hyun's research. Young engineers saw him as a hero, someone who had transformed a personal tragedy into a global technological revolution. The Hover Transit accident site had been transformed into a memorial and technological research center. Holographic exhibits told the story of how individual determination could challenge systemic failures. Park's transformation was particularly remarkable. He had become a bridge between traditional law enforcement and modern technological accountability. His training programs emphasized critical thinking, technological understanding, and human-centered investigation approaches. "We're not just protecting people from accidents," Park would tell his students. "We're protecting the very essence of technological innovation." Hyun's quantum safety technologies began expanding beyond transportation. Medical systems, space exploration technologies, and planetary infrastructure all started incorporating his innovative safety approaches. The global technological ecosystem had fundamentally changed. Corporations could no longer hide behind complex quantum engineering jargon. Transparency had become the new standard. Yoon-ji continued her judicial work, ensuring that technological innovations remained aligned with human safety and ethical considerations. Her approach had created a new model of technological governance. The research center became a symbol of hope. Young engineers from around the world came to learn, to be inspired, to understand that technological innovation was about more than just creating something new. It was about creating something better. As sunset painted the city's skyline with brilliant quantum-enhanced colors, Hyun looked out over the advanced research facility. What had once been a personal nightmare had become a global dream of technological possibility. The hover transit accident was no longer just a tragedy. It had become a turning point in human technological evolution. End of Part 5.